Good morning, everybody. Give me a thumbs up in the Discord if you can hear me. I don't have the camera on today, just because it's too hot in here. Just give me a confirmation if you can hear me. Should be streaming. Perfect. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to break down, if anyone wants to just see what I was doing this morning in terms of the prop firm. So the ones that I have, I pretty much just copied and pasted. I don't really follow this woman. I just really like the way she lays everything out. So fair play. And then obviously do your own research in terms of whether you would use them or not. But I just copied and pasted the whole sheet like so. Okay. Copy and paste that and then just put it into just an Excel sheet. And then just take out the stuff you don't want and then just filter the things you do want. So everything that I've filtered, I'm pretty much down to. So consistency in the evaluation can't be below 40%. Ideally 50 and above. The only one that isn't is the trading pit. But the reason I'll allow them is because they have no account limit. So almost like this is green, this is amber. Only just, it's not going to be an issue because I'm going to have so many accounts. I'm not going to YOLO them in terms of just trying to do, 50% in a day. I will just trade them slowly just because it's going to be about $4,000 investment for like 20 accounts. But that's what I was doing this morning. So who was it that was just asking about? Jason, what was the account you said? Funded Next. So the reason Funded Next didn't come up, let me just copy this again, and I'm just going to show you what I was looking at with Funded Next. So they did come up, but there's a reason why I've taken them off. I just can't remember. So and if this isn't useful, let me know, and I'm happy to go onto the charts. But again, I don't think much has changed on the charts just yet. So yeah, the reason I took them off, I didn't know what EOT meant. Is it end of trade or end? I don't know what EOT means. But apart from that, I think they're okay. Max accounts, it doesn't say how many max accounts you can have. I don't know what EOT stands for. If someone could let me know, that would be great. Let me just turn the camera off, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what that means, so let's have a quick look. End of term. Okay, so I guess that's probably fine. So maybe Funded Next are an option. The next thing I would do on that is then just Trustpilot. So yeah, 4.6 seems okay. Ideally below 10 on the 1 stars. I don't like seeing 6 really. I don't like seeing this. Don't like seeing that. Yeah, I don't like seeing any of this. So yeah, I probably wouldn't go for them. Yeah, don't like seeing that. So the ones that I'm sort of going with at the moment are pretty much not funding ticks because they have really bad reviews as well. Pretty much these three, which allows one second. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be these. I'm gonna get rid of this. I think it would be my funded futures, take profit, and then the trading pit. I just need to. I just need to check the trading pit on Trustpilot. 4.4. They have 10% 1-stars, but they aren't. No, that's yeah, like last month. So again, do your research because it's tricky, right? I'm a review whore. If it means I'll have less accounts, I mean, look, this is what. Why would you not go with any other company that has like 4.9, right? Fuck all the others. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not going to do it. The only issue is it just means you have to you earn technically less. But my funded futures and take profit, I'm pretty confident they are probably your best. Don't get me wrong. Take profit is 4.3. Wow. 12%. Oh my days. So I'm left with just one company. The only thing I would do is because I put so many filters on, you could go through each one of these. Why she's got take profit trader as her top one when there is a 12% review of 1-star reviews on there is pretty, I don't know, feels a bit strange. Am I missing something? Let me know if I'm missing something. I'm just going to move that to trading mindset. I'll put it in resources, Celsius. I'll put it in resources. There you go. The negative reviews are bullshit. Okay. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. These aren't verified either. None of these are verified. In fact, that's a good shout. Yeah, literally not one of them has been verified. Whereas okay, well, yeah, none of these are verified at all. Yeah, I just don't like seeing that such low. And then let's check out how have they got 4.5. Yeah, verified. That's what you want to see. Verified. Verified. Scam. Scumbags. Okay, so maybe trading pit is that back in. These aren't verified. Oh, these are okay. Where's the 1-stars? Where's the 1-stars? So 10% 1-stars. If there's not one verified post within the first 2 pages, I will reconsider. I mean, I don't really know what it means by being verified, so maybe I should really know what that means. The thing is, though, who's writing this if you're not legit? Like, or are you just like retarded? I mean, they are replying back. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to probably stick with what I said. I think I'm going to stick with these. The only problem with the trading pit for me is that it's rank 17 on her list. The thing is, all of these don't apply, aren't on the criteria of what I want. It needs to be on Tradeovate. It needs to be end of day drawdown. because that's real trading. I don't care what anyone says. Consistency on the evaluation. I mean, technically it could actually be below. I could actually have any of these because I'm not going to go too heavy. So that opens me up to Blue Sky, Trade Day, Legends Trading, but I don't want consistency on the... sorry, I did that wrong. I don't want consistency on the PA. Let me just take that off a second. None. I don't want the consistency on the PA. That pees me off. So I could probably maybe add Trade Day and get free accounts. Okay, so 3, 5, 3, no limit. So I'll leave that. And 2. So like my total without those is probably 5, 13, and then 7 at there. So maybe, or you could just scrap Blue Sky and Trade Day and just have more with the trading pit. But I think Trade Day are quite good. It's just the evaluation phase that is lower on the consistency, which I don't mind because I'm not going to rush the eval. So I think I'm probably happy to add those. Let me just roughly check quickly. Then we will get Blue Sky 4.7. I'm happy to see that. 6%. I'm happy with, as long as there's not too many verified. There's a verified one there. They have replied, so again, at least they're not ghosting, I guess, like some other companies. And then Trade Day. I know I've used them in the past only once, just on one account, which I think I blew, so I never used them on a payout. Trade Day 4.6. Okay, 6 again. So that's probably very similar to verified. They have replied. Verified again. I just don't like seeing this. It annoys me. But they have replied. So maybe it's those. And then what I will do, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies. I will then get that Trader Sync or whatever it's called. This Trader Sync or whatever. And I will, if possible, I will link all of them together. Oh, you can actually link NinjaTrader as well. Well, if that's the case, that might open me up to some more. That might open me up to some more options. So that might open me up to some more options. Yeah, potentially. I'll try and do maybe something like that. And I think that probably opens me up to earn to trade, funded futures network, trade. Yeah, I mean, this opens it up to us. So I just need to do a bit more research and I'll let you know who I'm going with. I like how most of them are 80-20. It's a bit annoying. So Prop Shop Warrior. So yeah, hopefully that's useful, but I'll let you know who I go with. I'm going to be getting them all set up within the next probably couple of weeks in terms of, I don't know how many I'll go for. I just worked out randomly, you know, like a 200k month. Not that you ever need $200,000 in a month, which is ridiculous, but just to kind of do something special, I thought it would be cool to... Where's my calculator? So, I don't know, like 200k, $200,000 over 12 months, 2.4 mil on the year, divided by 250 trading days, let's just keep it simple, is 9.6k a day, divided by 20 accounts is obviously 480 a day, right? So in theory, you could do that. And if you divide it by 40, it would obviously be even more, right? But you don't need 200k a month, right? I can live very, very comfortably on... I mean, my living expenses are probably less than 2k a month, right? So, but still, it's just cool, isn't it, right? The more you have, the more you can give back to your family, etc., etc. So, and I can buy a supercar, so there we go. But anyway, that's my plan. I will keep you updated with that. Let's do some charts. Again, the only reason I've not really been eager to jump in bed, so to speak, with the charts right now is because there just isn't anything really that's standing out to me, and I just won't trade. So I'm happy to do that. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I took one absolute, like, just okay trade. I took basically 5 points on the overnight, which, to be honest, I wouldn't even break down a 5 point trade. It's not even worth discussing. But I took two minis, 5 points, $200 on Top Step, lock the accounts. They'll be ready for a 25k payout on Wednesday. Right, that's it. Like, that's all it really means to me. It wasn't even anything really to break down. We were in longs. I took a long, nothing really special. So anyway, looking at today, all I'm going to really do is just show you the daily just for now. Also, anyone that hasn't been in the Discord over the weekend, I spent about, I don't even know how long I've spent in terms of hours now doing these indicators, but just put it this way, a lot goes into it. And even though it's ChatGTP doing a lot of the work, it's a lot of mental energy in terms of getting it to do what it wants, what I wanted it to do anyway. So anyway, I have updated both, all of the indicators on both the ATR bars, the ATR range for the RTH, for the ETH, which is here. Sorry, this is the RTH in white. The ETH, as you can see, is in purple. I'm just going to get it to show. The only thing I haven't got at the moment is it's just showing the table at the same area. So I just need to get it to be moved, but I'm probably going to keep on the RTH throughout the day. I know, and I've tested, that these are correct. So I don't really even need to have the tables on. I had them off this morning, but just in case you want to have them on. And that will give you your range for the day in terms of its sort of average highest and average lowest point of the day. And as you can see, yes, as you can see on Friday, look how well that played out, right? So this was your RTH low on Friday. We came down to it and obviously had a monster rally from that level, 140 points. And what's even more interesting is that level actually was a long level from a sequence that we had mapped out all the way back from last week. So if we just go back to our extensions, look at that beautiful tradition 61 traditional into a high to high into an extension halfway back. I mean, absolute ATR reversal up. I mean, absolute money. And that was on your RTH low. So RTH low on the day, it trades the halfway back on the high to high. ATR's up, and again 143 points. So that was a really, really nice trade. And again, that was going off the ATRs, which you can see traded 96.9594% on the day. The ATRs on the RTH are extremely low at the moment, and we will finally get at some point an ATR on the daily. It's been over how many days? It's been over 81 days since we've had an ATR, which is very, very unusual. Look, ATRs. We typically get an ATR bar on the daily at least within 7 to 10 days, and it's been just insane how we haven't had one on the daily. Yes and no because of this candle here, but you remember this is printing every 10. So even in any of the after the first 10 bars, like even from here, all of this, none of this has been above average range, which basically just means they're just buying, and buying. There's no selling whatsoever. And you will know that when you have an ATR up or an ATR down. It doesn't matter which way it goes, you will know at some point that will either be selling, that's all it is. It will be selling even if it goes up, and it will be selling even if it goes down. Trust me. So there will be buy stops on the sell pressure, and there will be also sell stops on the take profit, which will obviously initiate lower prices. So right now, you had none of that, which means you are just continuing to grind higher. So the bias is still daily. The bias is still bullish on the daily. And as we have been following this whole trend the whole year, we have no intentions of slowing down. Okay, so that is your daily bias. And in terms of your lower timeframes on the 5 minute, we will just plan those extensions in terms of get off me, fly. In terms of what we have mapped, unfortunately, those levels are going to be quite lower down that I would want to see trade. If we don't get them, you are just going to have to be comfortable with taking aggressive extensions either on the RTH or follow a micro extension on the smaller time frames from the overnight session. Okay, so you can go down to a 1 minute if you really want to. I'm sure there are extensions in here, and I'm sure there are extensions in the current move we're in. I can try and find some just to see where we are. This was a really nice play into the close that we had. And again, you can follow these up until they break. Okay, until they break. Just move this up. Hasn't yet traded. Full negative 100 trades. I mean, this is so aggressive. It's like, you know, take it with a pinch of salt, but they are still, they are still trading these. So you have to bid them until they break. Some people just don't want to take losses, and that's okay. But if you can't take a trade or you can't take a loss, you can't take a trade, right? So you're in micro extensions, you're ATR'd into that, out of that level, and you've also traded a micro extension in here. Really clean, negative 100's about to complete. I imagine if you are going to go higher, it's also traded the same anchor new high. Targets on that will be 929s. So this is, I'm talking your most aggressive entries from the overnight session, disregarding anything else on the higher time frames, which is the levels that I'll discuss now, which is going to be from the daily, right? You've got your traditional, which is going to be all the way down there at 19,794s, which is not going to happen today. You've got a high to high in here, which is support down there at 21,650s, not going to happen today. And you've got the second aggressive high to high extension support down there at 22,473s, not going to happen today. So all of the most aggressive entries on the daily, you aren't going to trade them today. They're not going to trade, right? And we know that because we would have to go outside. We would have... The only one that's potential is the second high to high, which is at 22,473s. That may be. But for that to happen, you would have to go outside of your ATR by quite a bit. I mean, essentially, you'd have to go outside of that by... get that up. So if your ATR on the day is 347, and your support on the day for you to get an entry on the daily, which is 94 points below that, which is about, what's 90 divided by 3? It's about 30% above the average true range on the day. So I would like to say confidently, it possibly isn't going to trade. However, if it does, it would be a very cheap discount long. And again, that is your second high to high extension, which is very, very aggressive. So you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's an aggressive entry, and it's also aggressive even if it even happens on the day. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I don't think they're going to trade. So that's your daily bias in terms of like, yes, you're long, yes, you want pullbacks, but those pullbacks aren't going to happen most likely today. They could just continue to grind higher and higher and higher. And what does that mean? You just have to lower your expectations, and you have to take those trades that necessarily the support isn't on the daily. You have to go to a lower time frame, and you have to look at those micro extensions, which we just broke down on the overnight session, and accept that they're not going to be as strong as support. And that, again, that's okay. You just have to accept that there might be less probability of those holding, and you either take those trades and accept the risk, or you don't take those trades and you wait patiently for the daily support to hold. That's the only two scenarios you have, right? So as you as the trader just have to analyze that for yourself and ask yourself, am I happy taking more aggressive trades knowing that they might have a lower probability of holding? Or do I wait for the daily levels to hold, wait for those micros to then form, and then take those easy trades? Again, that's entirely up to you. I'm just trying to show you that's what's in my mind. And if I was probably not having the room, I would just wait for those daily levels, right? So again, if there's no trades, that's probably why. If maybe I'm itching to take a trade, the only thing that I would look at is from the overnight session. And currently, you are in a same anchor new high from these overnight supports, okay? And that is from the support from Friday, and you are in extensions. Those extensions haven't yet broke. You could argue, no, you couldn't, because technically after that negative 100, you have traded a same anchor new high, and high to high. So you have traded it from the anchor high from 6 p.m. and currently that is in play. You just have to ask yourself, do you want to trade it? You have magnitude on this target at 929s. Your overall range on the day that I would be very confident we stay in between, unless we get news. We aren't going to break any of these ranges, 23 100s and 22 to 560s. We aren't going to break any of those ranges unless we get some impactful news. I would be very confident to say that. You'd have to get something that is impactful. If the market just sells off or rips into these levels, maybe. I just don't see it. But again, who knows, right? But there are your ranges on the day. So from where we are, you're talking about 300 points. 300 points from the open and 300 points from the low. Let me just get those on the screen so you can see. So yeah, you're talking from where we are now, depending on where we open in the next 5 minutes, 200 points up or 300 plus points down from where we are, not from the actual where the measurements are measured from, but just from where we are. And we are slowly grinding up as seen on the daily low. As we continue up, that daily expected low is going to increase. So right now we are gunning towards higher levels, which would make me think potentially we see 23 100s unless we get a break of trend. Remember, I do not short uptrends. I only buy pullbacks on uptrends. So you won't see me shorting any of this market. You will just see me looking for supports, okay? I do short, but again, context dependent, very context dependent. It would have to be in an uptrend. If you think this daily is in an uptrend, please leave this stream or this trading room, okay? Because this is not a downtrend. Not yet, anyway. Okay, unless there's any questions, I will jump over to Zoom where we will trade live. And if you aren't a member, you can click the link in the description for a 7-day free trial. No risk, cancel anytime. Other than that, guys, I will jump on Zoom and I will see you there.